everyone, it's Tracey Jeffery here from Tracey's Farmhouse Kitchen, and today I'm going to be making some treacle soda. And treacle soda is very much a Northern Irish tasty bread that we eat a lot of. We have made soda bread, which is cooking away here just on the griddle. But treacle soda is just an interesting addition. So we're adding treacle to it, and treacle is this beautiful brown, black kind of gloopy mixture. It's basically burnt sugar or molasses, if you like, and you would be familiar with it in the likes of, say, treacle tart or those types of things. So what I've done is, to make this bread, is I've added a big tablespoonful of treacle, and I've put it into my bowl, and then I've just mixed that with some buttermilk. A little tip here would be, if you can set this on somewhere nice and warm, or make sure it's at a good room temperature, it's easier to mix, okay, because it is quite gloopy, as you can see. So to make our treacle soda, we're using our amazing soda bread flour, which is the basis of our soda bread and this bread. And this is very much a Northern Irish bread flour, and it has the raising agents in it that we need to make lovely fluffy treacle soda. So as kind of per the traditional way that these breads would have been made, I'm not weighing anything, I'm not measuring anything, we just go by the look and the feel and the texture. So I'm taking a big handful of soda bread flour into the bowl, and then I'm going to add my treacle and my buttermilk. So I only have about maybe 50 ml of buttermilk in here with the treacle, but it's only to kind of get the colour to mix through. Okay, so it's a uniform colour. If you added the treacle directly to that bowl, it would be too gloopy and you couldn't mix it. So I'm going to add a little bit of buttermilk here as well. And then I'm just going to take my spoon and just mix it as lightly as I can. I don't want to go hard on it. I don't want to knock it back or do any of those things that you do with yeast bread, because the more I work it, the less it's going to rise for me. So it's really important when you're making this treacle soda or any soda bread that you are as light as you can be with the mixture. So there it is, it's turning into a beautiful sandy colour. And what I'm going to do then, when I've got it to this consistency, and as you can see, it's kind of a sticky, wettish dough, I'm going to just sprinkle quite liberally some flour on my table, and then just scrape this dough out onto the table, okay? And once I do that, I'm going to get a bit of flour in my hands, and then I'm going to roll it around in the flour just to make sure it doesn't stick. Now, there it is. There is no need for me to work it or knock it back or knead it. I'm just going to take the heel of my hand and just gently give it a bit of pressure. Try to keep the shape if you can, but we call that artistic or artisan, if you like, okay? Because I'm not trying to sell it to the shop. And once you've got it kind of flattened out a bit, not too much, don't go too mad there, then just take your knife and cut it the whole way back. So this currently is a cake of treacle soda, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting it into farls, and a farl means 1 of 4 or a quarter, and it's an Ulster Scots term that they brought with them to this part of Northern Ireland. So we have our 4 farls of treacle soda. So get your egg lifter in below and give it a good shake to shake off the excess flour, and then just very gently set it on your griddle, okay? And you're going to leave it there for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll turn it over and we'll have a look at it. And by that stage, it should have risen to at least 50% more than what it was when it was first put on the griddle. And that will be just delicious with good lathering of butter. So now our treacle sodas should be, as you can see how really well they've risen. You know, it's very visible. The sides are kind of tucked in and the steam's coming off them and they kind of smooth on top. And then to turn it over, I'm putting my egg lifter in below and then I'm going to hold it because you've got much more control over it if you do that. And then just turn them all over. And you'll see they're a really kind of deep sandy colour on top, and that's what I think looks so amazing about treacle soda, is the colour of them. And so I'm going to set them on again for another 3 or 4 minutes and then we'll harn them. Okay, if they're good thick soda farls as well, you do need to harn them properly because obviously you've got more kind of product in there in a thicker farl. So our treacle sodas are just coming off the griddle. We've just harned them, okay? So that's just for about 15 seconds on each side there. And then take them off, set them on the griddle, and we don't often just kind of cut them immediately, but I just want to show you kind of what it looks like inside. So I'm just taking a nice serrated edge knife, okay, so it won't tear through the dough. And there you go, it's a lovely, fluffy, the smell of it is just amazing. The treacle definitely adds a new dimension to it. I wouldn't even put jam on that. I would just put some very tasty homemade butter on it and let it melt through and enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. If you do fancy a little bit of your own traditional bread making, where we make sodas and wheaten and our amazing potato bread, just have a look at Tracey's Farmhouse Kitchen on the website and come on down, and thank you for watching.